My name is Jean-Marc Selva. I'm a director of photography for about 30 years now. I'm an AFC member, and my three last feature films were The Story of M, that I shot in Morocco, La Cat Baga, which is an action film shot in India, and Lord Curzon's Mansion, also an Indian film but shot in Britain, in Great Britain.
Always fight for what's right, Arjun. Especially उनके लिए, जिनकी खुद की आवाज ना हो।
देख कर चला ना, चोट लग जाती तो।
इस पिल्ले की तो। मैं लड़ना नहीं चाहता।
As a foreigner, you don't have the keys to another culture or, all the little subtleties and things. But I happen to believe that filmmaking should be universal, and you should be able to make a movie in India, why not India, and talk to the heart and soul of people in Europe, So for that, when I receive a script, I'm completely aware that I'm not Indian, and I scan the script for things I don't understand, subtleties, things that don't come across to me, And then I talk about it to the directors, because I think, in a way, I'm their first Western audience, And I can tell them, this doesn't work with me, I don't get it, I don't understand, So are you aware of that, and are you happy with this? Do you want to leave it this way, so it only talks to your local viewers, or do you want me to make it more universal? It's very, very Indian in the way it looks, the way that people behave, but the theme, has to do with, animal cruelty, and this guy is a justice, what do you call that, a justicee? Or this guy is defending the animal cause, and takes on the mafia, the mob, who is trafficking animals. So people can identify to that, because anyone, at least someone liking animals, will feel for that, So of course a lot of references come to mind, and we did look, at IP Man, Equalizer, things like that. But in my experience, references are always a starting point, and then you get to know each other, you get to know the preferences of the director, and you talk a lot about the script, and then the script tells you also what to do, So I noticed that we were going back towards older action films, more like Bruce Lee, which were more, I wouldn't say primitive, but simpler in the way they were shot, It's more brutal, it's more down and dirty, and we didn't think that pretty camera moves around the people and slow motions were the way, We did watch films doing that, but slowly, the story tells you what you should do.
Do you think about using anamorphic?
Yeah, that was the first thought, anamorphic, and I tested a few, but then we realized it wasn't the right way. There's a lot of VFX in the film because we have to create this animal, and so I think cropping the picture, leaving space up under and above the picture was a way to help the VFX. That was the first time I used the Supremes, and I was curious. I had never tried them, and the fact that they are small and compact, and open pretty wide also, I thought, oh, that's interesting. The way the focus falls off, what you call the bokeh, I found that extremely elegant, very, very soft going. I mean, it's very sharp as a lens, but the way it falls off into out of focus is very beautiful. And I was using that a lot, because we're shooting pretty open. I was using the background, and putting opponents, other people in a blur of the lens to create, surprises and things, not to reveal right away who was who, and so we played with that a lot, So I first read a script like an audience, like a viewer, and it has to work on me. I have to believe in it to be able to convey that story, to tell that story visually. If something doesn't click, I can still shoot it, but I won't add anything to it, because I believe my job is a bit of a translator, you know, of what's on this page has to go on the screen, and it's far from being meaningless what happens between these two, you know. I try to bring an extra layer of meaning, but for that I have to understand the underlying story, the meaning, what's at stake, you know. I happen to believe that, you know, good filmmaking works and conveys its story best when we identify with the characters, you know.
Goody boy is a vigilante. तो हिस्ट्री तो उसे एज अ हीरो ही याद रखेगी ना.